A couple weeks ago, I showed you guys the very effective QB blast out of the formation jet heavy, and today we're going to take a look at play number 2. Just want to show you my universal setup and how I run this play. We're just going to put both tight ends on fade routes. We're going to put both of the players in the backfield on wheel routes, and the wide receiver on a drag route. And this is how I'm going to run it pretty much all the time. The only other thing that we're going to do to mix things up is we are going to put both of the players in the backfield on out routes. This is going to murder zone defense. Zone defense cannot get low enough for these. It's pretty much going to be open every single time. The only thing is, when we're running these routes, we don't want this drag route to interfere, so we're going to put the wide receiver on a streak route. And that's pretty much it. So this is pretty much going to be me talking and explaining how I throw some of these routes and how everything works just over the gameplay footage yet once again. Hope you guys enjoy. Jet heavy is pretty much one of the hardest formations to stop defensively in the game this year, and the best part about it is we can do most of our damage just out of 2 plays. The first being QB blast and the second being any pass play. We just pick a pass play and then we make our hot routes, and it's that simple. Now this formation's been covered quite a bit. People have been using it a lot this year. I used it a lot last year. But unfortunately, it is a new year, and because it's been covered in ebooks and stuff like that, I can't really go into great detail, but I don't think that really matters, because what I want to do is I want to show a lot of you guys that, struggle with offense or are really looking for something that's really effective. Just a pretty basic setup that you can be really effective with. I don't need to get fancy in this video showing you anything like that. And the great part about it is you can use this type of offense in your league. There's no, if you have a league that has rules and stuff like that, we're not using any motion glitches or anything like that. We're running with the quarterback, which is very common in the game. It's a big part of Madden now. It's not like last year when I was running QB power out of this formation, and a lot of people were calling it really, really glitchy and stuff like that, because QB runs were not the norm, but now they are. It's a big part of the offense, and all leagues are going to allow that type of run. So to be able to mix in the pass with just really basic routes and just be able to throw dots all day long. You're going to see throughout this video that I'm going to throw to certain players, and other wide receivers or other players are just going to be wide open. Like right there, I threw the drag, and the wheel route out of the backfield was wide open. And that's how effective this play is, we've got multiple players open on any given play. It's just a matter of, you being able to read which player is going to give you the most yards for the most part. There's always going to be 2 options for you to throw to. Now, I showed you the base setup in practice mode where we put both tight ends on fade routes, the wheels out of the backfield, and the drag by the wide receiver. Now, obviously, we're going to start the game using that, but as the game goes on, we just want to make sure that we throw a couple subtle changes in every now and then. Instead of both tight ends on the fade routes, we're going to drag one. Doesn't matter which one. We can put both of the running backs in the backfield on blue routes, which is, what am I trying to say? Delayed blocking routes. Sorry, delayed routes. Or we can just block both of the guys in the backfield, or we can block one. They're going to start sending a lot of pressure once you really start tearing them apart. They're going to think the only option for them to have success is by blitzing heavy, and obviously that's the worst thing that they can do against a formation like this, especially with the wheel routes out of the backfield. And as you can see, they really have to be on cue for what to cover. If they cover the inside on these fade routes that we're pass leading to the inside, we're just going to pass lead to the outside when it's wide open. As you can see right here, look at pass lead right to the outside. You just have to be a little smart about your pass leads. Don't pass into traffic, and you're just going to tear your opponent apart all the way up and down the field. A good player will make some adjustments to your play if you're just going to run the same thing over and over. So the default setup is great. I absolutely love it, and it's ridiculously tough to stop, even though it is a basic setup. But you need to make adjustments here and there like putting out routes out of the backfield, streaking X, as you can see there, putting one of the tight ends on a drag, just, even sometimes leaving that auto motion out of the backfield, leaving him as is, and then trying to hit the flats to him really quick. If it's like a zone coverage or if it's a man coverage and they're blitzing, he could potentially be wide open in the flat. So you just have to throw a little bit of wrinkles here and there, but it is a very basic. It's very basic. It's easy that anybody can run this with this type of setup. I've shown you all year long, if you've seen any of my videos, pass leading fade routes to the inside or to the outside is just one of my favorite things to do this year. The wheel routes, if it's man coverage and we've got the wheel routes out of the backfield, we just need to pass lead to the inside, click on, and go get the ball, just like we would other fade routes, like say, or other wheel routes, should I say, like Pat's wheel drag. You know how you pass lead those to the inside? It's really the same thing. You just need to wait for your player to get upfield a little bit. And if it's zone coverage, well, he's either going to be covered in the flat or it's going to be a wide open quick pass like you see right here I'm doing over and over again. If they choose the wrong type of zone defense, we're just going to take advantage of that and hit it wide open. And if they call zone and the flats are covered, then all we want to do is just, wait, and we're going to hit them wide open. So really, they have to be on point in the biggest way to be able to stop this formation. That's why it really is one of the best formations in the game. There's nothing that people can say in your leagues if you have rules, because you're not really motioning anybody, you're not glitching anybody out. It's hot routes, stand back, make your reads, pass leading. If your commissioner cries that you're in this formation quite a bit, then I don't know what to tell them. Just say, this is look at Cam Newton and the Panthers last year. They were in shotgun run and read option every single down last year. This is the norm. Last year when I was running QB power, the read option and stuff like that wasn't really in the game. It wasn't a big aspect of the game. So I'd get in a league that had rules. I'd be running QB power, and then people would just cry. They'd be like, oh, that's glitchy and blah, blah, because it was unstoppable. It really was. And QB blast is not quite as unstoppable, but it's still very effective. But the difference is that it's a big part of the NFL now. Read option and QB runs like that are very effective. Now, as you can see here, I'm throwing out routes out of the backfield instead of wheel routes. And if it's zone coverage, these routes are going to murder zone coverage every single time. Even against man-to-man every once in a while, they're still going to get open. Once your opponent starts making adjustments, you start throwing these at him. He's not going to have an answer for it. This is a great adjustment to make late in the game. If even if they're not clamping down on you a little bit, if you think they're playing a lot of zone coverage, because I think you do. If you're going to stop this formation, you're going to want to play zone coverage. I'd say man defense for the QB blast is your best option. For passing, you're going to want to call zone coverage. And if they do that, we're going to hit them underneath all day long. So just a really great play that any of you guys can use, because I'm showing you how to pass lead wheel routes all year. I've been showing that. I've been showing you how to pass lead the fade routes. And of course, who can't throw a drag route? And if all fails and everything is covered and they're playing max coverage defense, we're just going to take off with our quarterback. As you can see right there, we don't even need QB blast. We're just going to take off with our quarterback. So I hope you like the play. I just wanted to, show something real simple that any of you guys can use. And I'll see you guys next time with a tip. I got a lot of stuff coming out before the end of the year. And I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel. So I'll see you next time. Don't forget to check out thegamerslab.com, where every single day people are posting tips and strategies. We are the biggest Madden community with 43,000 members.